There is one thing that stands between you and the life that you want, and it's this gap. And it's the gap that sometimes no one talks about. It's how to get you from what you said you desire and what you said you envision to what you want. I'm going to tell you today, after helping thousands of people, that you can do it. There are a few ways that you can close the gap. You can earn more than you're earning today by either getting a new job, increasing your income in some ways. You can also close the gap by saving more, spending less than you're spending today, really looking at those finances and making sure you know your needs versus wants. Lastly, for those of you with investments, optimizing those investments could help you close that gap. Making sure that they're efficient, you're not taking too much risk, and that the investments are in line with what you value and your goals. So let's talk a little bit about this. So I've had thousands of clients and they've fallen somewhere in the midst of the gap. And a couple stick out to me that have really closed that gap way faster than I ever thought they would. I had a couple, young kids, 3 and a 1-year-old, and they had really good jobs, really hard workers, but yet everything that they valued and so many things that they wanted to do and make sure that their values were met, there was a gap there. And that gap was earning more. So the wife in this situation, she has a love for photography, always did it on the side, did photo shoots for friends, family, never really took any money for it. She started doing it as a hobby on the side. And I told her, I'm like, why not get more serious about it? Why not start charging? People love what you do. They're taking your time and it's a passion of yours. Why not make money where you have a passion? So what did she do? She got a website and started doing her photography shoots for real. And it was a side gig that she did, earning more. And that money went to some of their goals, to the life that they wanted. They wanted to save so much for their children's college. They're able to put that money away. And they wanted one really nice vacation per year. And they're able to do that, all by doing something she was passionate about in a side gig, making a lot of money, still continuing her normal job, but making a lot of money to fulfill their goals. They did it, and they all by taking some time to look at the life they have, to the life they want, and close that gap as much as they can. Now, I know that was one example of what one family did to close the gap. And I know you're probably thinking, great, Nicole, I can't, I don't know, there's not a job. It's not just so easy to go pick up something else. I challenge you to look beyond. I bet there's a hobby. I bet there's something that you can do for the side that can make extra money. If that is the gap that you want to close, there is something you can do. And sometimes it's as extreme as career change, and it takes work. It does take work and energy to close that gap. So I challenge you to look beyond it. You might have a passion that you never even thought of that you do on the side just for fun or for your own family or for your own home, that you're like, gosh, I could turn this into a side business. I challenge you to think about those things. I challenge you to go above and beyond. I know it's not easy. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it, but you're different and you're here for a reason. And you're going to make a difference. You're going to look beyond what you're currently doing and find a way to make more if that's the gap that we need to close. It's there. And we live in such an amazing place that there are so many things that people can do today, literally with a click of their phone or an app, to make those extra dollars that your family may need to close that gap and live the life that you want to be living. I'm not immune to the gap either. In my life, I had to work on some of these gaps. And one of the gaps that I really had to work on was save more. I had these really big goals. I still have these really big goals on where I want to be and what I need for my son. And so saving more is starting to help me. I had to reassess everything that I was doing and realize that I need to spend less and save more. I struggled for so long after college and building a business and a practice that I was hand to mouth for so long. And then when I started to make money, you get excited that you can actually spend it. You can go on vacation. You can buy a car without thinking. You can do all these things. And then I needed to take a step back because I started to evaluate my own goals. And I realized there was a big gap on where my life was, well, I had reached some, to where I wanted to go. And looking at saving more, making sure my son's college was safe for, making sure my own retirement was funded, and making sure my rainy day fund was full. That's what I had to do. And I lived my whole life having to be cautious about my dollars. It's no different now that I'm in a better situation. But to get to the life I want and to reach my goals, I had to do two things. I had to save more, close that gap, and come up with concrete numbers that I need to save. And I had to spend less. You're probably thinking, Nicole, how can I climb this mountain? My gap is so huge and I just can't see over the other side. And if you want to comment below, tell me the mountain you're trying to cross. Tell me the challenge that you think it is to get over that gap. I know the gap seems monumental right now, but I'm telling you, where there's a will, there's a way. And if you're willing to put in the hard work, you can get there.